Imagine stepping into a crowded room in Cairo, where Tsitsi, an HIV-positive Zimbabwean mother, laughs freely while cradling her healthy baby. The air hums with stories of rebellion, love, and survival, stories that break taboos, shatter silence about African women's sexuality. But how do these women navigate culture, tradition, and their own desires? Nana Darkoa Sekyiamah invites us inside to witness bold acts of sexual freedom that most wouldn't dare tell. What secrets lie behind these open doors? Let's find out. We start with the intimate stories Sekyiamah has collected, women confronting trauma, family, and identity. These aren't abstract theories. They're real struggles lived out in bedrooms and beyond. Yami, a pansexual Canadian with Malawian roots, wrestles with the clash between her family's conservative expectations and her own fluid desires. She describes the electric tension of negotiating love and identity, where each conversation is a risk, every secret a heavy burden that threatens her closest bonds. Think of sexuality as an uncharted dance floor. Sometimes it's safe, familiar choreography. Other times, wild, improvised moves that upset the rhythm. For African women, societal norms often act as invisible barriers, but desire pushes relentlessly against these walls, transforming private rebellion into public defiance. By telling her truth, Yami doesn't just claim sexual freedom, she redefines her place in her family and community. The payoff: a surprising blend of estrangement and deeper self-acceptance that turns isolation into a new kind of belonging. Then there's Esther, whose past trauma acts like a shadow and a spark. Her fierce rebellion is a raw, painful journey tangled with religion, family expectations, and survival instincts. Esther, a Cameroonian-Kenyan student studying in America, reveals how a childhood rape fractured her relationship with her strict missionary parents. That trauma entrenched a silent war within her, a war she fights daily by rejecting their moral framework, refusing neat definitions of victimhood. Picture faith as a double-edged sword. One side offers safety, community, and meaning. The other cages desires and silences pain. For Esther, her rebellion isn't just against family. It's a push against the crushing weight of religious shame and control. From this struggle emerges a complex transformation. Esther's defiance evolves into an act of reclaiming power over her own body and story. Her rebellion doesn't reject faith outright. It redefines it on her own fiercely independent terms, carving space for pleasure and autonomy. Finally, Sekyiamah explores sex positivity as radical freedom, where pleasure isn't just a feeling, but a declaration of control across Africa's diverse sexual landscapes. Tsitsi, living with HIV in Zimbabwe, courageously shares how she raised an HIV-negative child while reclaiming her sexuality with pride. Her story crushes stereotypes, showing pleasure and health can coexist amid harsh stigma and looming fears. Across Egypt's queer circles and Senegal's polyamorous relationships, Sekyiamah highlights how chosen families and non-traditional partnerships slam doors on rigid African norms, forging fresh spaces where desire is freely explored and expressed. This isn't just about sex. It's a radical challenge to power structures that seek to control women's bodies. The ultimate transformation? African women wielding sexual pleasure like a revolutionary act, shifting cultural politics and rewriting what freedom means. Remember Tsitsi in that Cairo room, the laughter, the freedom, that fierce joy born from struggle and choice. Nana Darkoa Sekyiamah's book invites you to reconsider what you think you know about African women's sexuality. Here's a challenge. Open a conversation, whether with yourself or someone else, about desire and freedom. See how breaking silence can remake worlds. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.